Hi friends,
and fiends,
welcome back to our podcast,
the Power Twins podcast.
or if it's the first time, welcome. This is your host Martha,
And this is your co-host Joe.
and this is the second part of Idahofour, and we have already recorded and is up on our channel first part, and I would suggest you go watch that first because this one will not make any sense to you.
So in the first part of this case, we have already talked about
The overview of the case.
Exactly. We have started
of what
setting
happened.
up, explaining the timeline. We have talked about the night of the incident, and now actually we left off
At the day where Bryan Kohberger was arrested.
exactly that
And,
police officers arrived at his parents' place
Mm-hmm.
and actually arrested him. So
Yes, and we will continue today with our commentary on the events and some of the facts and some of the theories that have been circulating around on the internet. But before we do so, we have to give a disclaimer again on this one that we will be using different words differently, some words differently, so you can be able to watch or listen to this one. Yes.
without the episode being too graphic.
Yes, of
for-
course.
Obviously for people who do not wish to listen to very brutal details, we're never going to do that. We're
No.
never going to include any kind of aggressive details, let's say.
Yes, and but of course, because it is a heavy case, I would like to give a disclaimer and
Definitely.
definitely skip this one if it's too heavy for you.
And then again, we have to repeat that every
Yes.
time.
We will be
because it
treating
is
this
true,
case
exactly, with the utmost respect.
respect.
And we send our deepest and sincerest
Condolences
condolences
to
and all our love to
The
the families and loved
members
ones
and loved
of the
ones
victims.
of the four
So-
victims. Yes. So
Okay.
Bryan Kohberger was arrested, and now I would like to talk about some of the legal proceedings and details of this case of his arrest, and you will see. First of all, I would like to talk about the plea deal and his sentencing.
Exactly, because and
Because-
I'm sorry to interrupt. So he was the main and potentially, or at least so far as we know, the only suspect
Yes.
when it comes to this case, like official suspect.
Because as
okay?
we talked in the previous episode, there has been DNA evidence found
Exactly, on
on a
Teeth.
sheath of the weapon he
Yes,
used.
the
Yes.
house.
Yes.
So since he was the only suspect, and he has been accused of 4 red drums, so obviously he was looking at life sentences. Okay,
Yes, and there was a.
4 of
of
them,
course.
like 4 consecutive life sentences, or maybe even
Yes.
the penalty.
Yes, the penalty.
Yeah.
I think we can mention that the death penalty was on the table.
Exactly,
And
So-
I would like to mention here that Idaho is one of the states that have this. And
Still do.
Yes.
I had no idea.
And if I'm not mistaken, there has been another case where it is another shocking one, and one that has been covered a lot by the media, and you know it as well, with
one?
Lori Vallow and Chad
Ooh.
Daybell. If
With
I
some
have the
kind of a
names
cult,
correctly,
is it not?
with the another tragic case, and the guy was convicted and he has the death. He's on death penalty, on death row, if I'm not mistaken.
Was she not released recently?
Sis, I have not been following it. I have not watched some updates or read updates on this one in a while, but I know he has been convicted and he's on death row in Idaho. Again, if I'm not mistaken, but I think it's like that. So yes, Idaho is one of those states that have...
that's a very... I'm not talking specifically about the case that Martha is mentioning, but this decision to be made by a jury, I think there's a very delicate subject, because
it is.
It's really heavy and it's really ultimate. But some people, I'm usually against, this penalty, but some people, they are complete monsters, and
yes, that's why they have it. It's reserved for some people who
they have a special place in
hell. Exactly, that's the exact
twins.
Yes,
we're not actually twins, we're siblings.
Yes, but it was the exact expression I wanted to use.
But
and it was,
I do
of
believe
course,
that.
if there is something horrible, that's definitely it.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to this case. Because you mentioned,
I have my notes. I will be reading my notes.
You already mentioned, and most of you, actually all of you who are familiar with this case, already know. But for those who have not been familiar with this case before this or the previous episode, Bryan Kohberger, he was actually looking at possibly...
I will mention the details.
Yeah. So that's why, because you mentioned a plea deal.
Yes. But we have to start...
of course not.
So you can understand that we have... No. It's better. Okay, so the trial was set to take place in Boise or Boise. I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced.
I have no idea. And
the judge would be Judge Stephen Hippler. The trial date for jury selection was set by Judge Stephen Hippler for August 4th, 2025.
Okay. So he was already in custody, right?
Yes.
For more than a year and a half.
Like a year and a half, I think, something like that. Because
he was arrested on December or November? No, December.
Yeah, December. So, 30th of December, 2022. And, because we have been following this case, Joe and I have been following it. We were waiting for the trial, and we would be watching it, close.
If it was filmed and recorded and
just
televised.
Like we watched
not all of the trials, if I'm not mistaken, not all of the trials.
Yes, I'm not sure, but I think it would be something like that, because again, it's something that shocked the public. So yes, and the jury trial would begin on August 18th of the same year. However, on June 30th...
So last year?
Yes, just this summer. You remember we were waiting. This past summer we were waiting for it to begin. And however, on June 30th, 2025, it was announced that Bryan Kohberger agreed to plead guilty for all counts against him. As a result, he would be accepting the sentence of 4 consecutive life sentences.
Yeah.
And no death penalty. So that was... I think a very important part of the agreement.
Yes.
In my opinion, because it is, one thing. I don't know. It has a different weight. He will be spending his life in prison either way. But
I want to make a comment on this one. Okay, sorry. Just a heads up, I am probably going to get really angry throughout this episode, because all of this makes me really angry, and it does make me emotional, but especially when it comes to offenders like this, because he's not the first one to do that, okay? In order to, in quotations, but actually, save himself, okay? So if we take, again, if you have not seen the previous episode, I always play devil's advocate because we have to
Yes.
be completely objective, and we are quite objective as people in real life.
In real life too. Exactly.
But okay, so let's take as a fact that he is the one who did it. Okay,
Exactly.
so he literally is a monster who took 5 lives with no reason, and then yet still, 4, yeah.
Okay.
But still, he had to plead. He had to make the
Yes.
agreement so that
Exactly.
he saved his life.
Exactly. That's what
makes me so
me so angry as well. Exactly.
I
because
mean it.
yes, honestly, he had to make an agreement. He had to choose. He left no choice to those poor
It's so narcissistic.
young adults.
It's really such a narcissistic behavior, because he shows again that he values his own
He's
life
much
more.
Yes.
The lives of these 4
Yes.
kids.
He was scared. He was
Young
terrified.
adults.
I assume, and he wanted nothing to do with the death
Save his
penalty.
back. But let me put it
Yes, but
nicely.
seriously, why didn't you leave this choice to those beautiful souls?
They don't
why?
care. People like him do not care.
Yes, that's
It
I'm
really makes
sorry.
me. It really, really makes me angry.
I have to maintain
A
my
little bit, actually.
composure, but seriously,
Yeah,
that makes me
Excuse me.
excuse me as well. So let's just keep going, and he would also give up his right to future appeals. So it was the agreement.
I think that goes without saying when they
Yes.
actually make an agreement, this
Yes.
kind of agreement. I think that by law, it goes without saying that they do not have
Future appeals.
yeah,
I'm not.
the
Again, we are not
rights.
familiar with the U.S.
No, not
law.
really. I'm very sorry if I'm mistaken.
Yes, so we don't know. Not with everything, at least. Whatever we hear on the news and everything. So yes, and he would remain in prison with. He would remain in prison until his passing. And on July 2nd, 2025. He pleaded guilty to 4 counts of first-degree redrum and 1 count of felony burglary. On July...
Of course, because he had to break into the house.
Yes, that's
by
of
the
course...
glass door in the kitchen.
Yes, that's another one
Because that's
to
trespassing.
consider.
That's trespassing.
Yes,
Yeah.
and yes, burglary.
Mm.
So... felony burglary, excuse me. And on July 23rd, 2025, he was sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences with 10 additional years for burglary.
Mm.
And he was also, there was also, a fine set for him, $50,000 per count.
A lot of money.
Yes,
Oh,
$50,000
per
per
count.
count.
Okay, yeah.
So for like the, I'm terrible at math, but I think it's $250,000 in total and $5,000 per victim. So it's for, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was to pay
Still,
those to the
that's-
family,
Still,
to the
that's
families.
nothing compared to your life.
Yes, of course.
I mean, of course, I understand. What is the state to do? What is the government to do? But still, that's
Yes, of
nothing.
course. I think it was something. You had to do something. They
Of
had
course,
to
but
punish him.
Absolutely,
So
understandable.
it was
but
another
I'm pretty sure that
effort.
the families would rather prefer to have their loved ones back and
Yes, I think it was Ethan's
not
mom.
a penny for
I'm not
compensation.
quite sure, but I think it was Ethan's mom who said, I only want my child back. I cannot have that one. So something
course.
along those lines. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was Ethan's mom who said that. So, and not only probably her, more of the loved ones and parents of the victims, because they were 4 beautiful souls. That's
There was no
what I
reason.
believe. And no, I mean, their families seem like kind-hearted and beautiful, loving people too. So it
Of
makes
course.
sense that
Of course, yeah.
they have such beautiful children. That's why I'm mentioning. So at this point, I would like to mention some things about Bryan Kohberger, because we would like to have a profile on the person
Of course. I mean,
of interest, shall I say?
again, we have to be objective, and again, we have to be
Yes.
just, and we do have to mention things
Yes.
about him.
So, Bryan Christopher Kohberger, he was born on November 21st, 1994, Scorpio, and they say that I think it's the number one sign for
zodiac sign.
Yeah, zodiac sign for people committing
serial offenders.
Yes,
but it,
of course, it has nothing to do with
No.
that.
I personally like Scorpios, and I get
Yes,
along with
same.
them.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway, Scorpios most definitely did not claim him.
No, of course not.
And he has an associate degree in psychology, which he got in 2018 in the Northampton Community College in Tannersville, by Northampton, Community College in Tannersville. And he also has a bachelor's degree in psychology, which he got in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And a master's degree in criminal justice, which he got in 2022, and those he got from the DeSales University in Cedar Valley, if I did it correctly.
That's another thing. Okay.
Yes,
that,
you would like to comment something, I can tell.
Yes. Okay.
So that's another thing I would like to mention here.
Yeah, and I think that it's really important, but I think it's also really not even peculiar. I have no words, because you said that. I mean, this guy obviously clearly has.
Excuse me, guys. There are some background noises, and I'm really sorry if you hear.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We cannot do anything
those.
about it.
Yes, and I'm sorry for interrupting you, Joe.
No, it's fine. But
Go ahead. Please go ahead.
This man obviously has a lot of
Educational background.
Yeah, and especially in psychology, and then criminal psychology,
Yes,
right?
that was his
Criminal
major.
justice. Yeah. So this makes me even more angry, because you are literally supposed to know better. But why are you doing this? Because obviously there's something wrong.
That's what we are trying to figure out. But again, we will not know until he speaks, if he ever speaks.
He won't.
Why?
He will not. That's why.
So many questions. Yeah, and I would like to mention at this point, based on his studies, that of course we cannot take that away from him.
No.
It was mentioned that he's a very smart and intelligent individual, so he knew how to get away with Redrum. Supposedly, he wanted.
Do you think
he
when
knew
it
how
comes to serial offenders,
He had some knowledge
and
because of his studies.
yeah, but I
Yes.
think that, when it comes to these kind of criminals and serial offenders and stuff, I think that or to extravagant people, let's say in general, they don't have to be offenders. People with really high IQ, they're
Yes.
often weird in quotations.
And socially, socially awkward, how we say.
But I mean, come on! If you are this clever, and we're not taking that away from
No.
anybody, but use your intelligence for good.
That's what I was thinking. Do something better with your life, and you will see he has done some progress in his personal life. He was facing some struggles with addiction, and he overcame those, and with other
And in normal circumstances,
So-
I would actually say that this is really inspiring and is actually really
exactly.
good.
And
Then
like
why
someone
do you-
strong with inner strength, and
Yeah.
with a very
Exactly.
brilliant
So
mind,
you
most likely.
Show
Why?
exactly. You show as a person who overcomes really difficult things that this man actually has. And again, we cannot take that away from him. We have to be objective. But this shows strength of character.
Yes,
Okay?
exactly. Inner strength.
And it's inspiring for everyone. And then
Yes.
he takes all of this progress that he has
And he
done
throws
as
it
as
out
a
the
person.
window.
Exactly, and he throws it in the bin.
But
honestly.
that's the thing with people who commit these horrible crimes, that we cannot understand how their brain actually works.
No.
Because it doesn't make sense to the average person like you and me and you watching because we would never do something like that.
No,
So
and
it doesn't make any sense.
We should be proud that it does not make
Yes,
sense to
it
us.
doesn't make sense. So we try to understand their psychology.
Absolutely.
But it
Again.
doesn't make any sense because, like you said, this person, why? He could be like a researcher, a professor.
He could help people.
He could help. He could
Especially having...
help the academia, you know, in with his
Yeah, but
research
even-
and his work.
Yeah,
and
exactly. And even, you know, as a professor or as a psychologist
Yes.
or psychiatrist, he could have
Yes.
helped people overcome difficulties like he did. You know, he actually did, like in a tangible way. And then he goes and F's it up and takes it all back. Like, all the way.
I can
not
only-
even all the way back.
You know, I can only
To the other extreme.
Yes, I can only. The only thing I can think about is that maybe there was a lot of trauma and not enough work done with himself.
Yeah, I mean,
to overcome this. So he had
maybe
a lot of anger, probably.
Superficially,
Yes,
maybe he thought that he was okay, but obviously
Yes.
he was not.
maybe
And obviously
he
he had
needed
not
more.
really overcome.
Yes, maybe he needed more help, or I don't know if he had at some point.
By the way, if you are facing difficulties, if you are facing
Yes.
really hard time in your life, it is not a shameful thing or a sign of weakness to ask for help. Please do.
Yes,
For yourself above all, and then for your loved ones as well, because
Yes.
people around, people who are going through a lot,
yes,
they actually go through a lot as well. So
because his family was hurt too. Now that you mention
hurt
this,
hurt people.
yes, but his family was hurt too. Can you imagine,
Absolutely.
like your son being
Or your
accused?
sibling.
Yes, or your sibling. He has two sisters. Again, I think two sisters. And can you imagine, like,
It's not their fault.
yes, or his mom that he was in the.
Because he's an individual, he's a different person, okay?
Yeah. But you know, his mom that was there with victim impact statements that we watched, and I read somewhere that he was quietly wiping, you know, while they were talking. You know, the families of the victims were talking. Can you imagine the pain you caused to so many people?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I can only imagine. I do not have
It's unbelievable.
a child yet, but if touch wood, my child was to do such horrific things, I would be, and I am not in any way, shape or form implying that his mother should do that, but
No.
I, as an individual, my own opinion, I would immediately blame myself if my child was to ever do something as
Yes.
horrific, and I would question myself and say, what did I do wrong? What did everything go wrong?
I think
So of course it's I can imagine it's extremely painful.
yes, and for his sisters, like listening to Kaylee's sisters and Xana's sister and Ethan's siblings or parents of the victims. Can you imagine?
I
As a
don't
sister
want to,
yourself,
honestly.
it's a
And
horrible
I'm sorry,
situation.
I don't mean it in a
Yes,
you know,
I
in
know,
a
I
mean
know.
way, but
I know, but
I
it's,
can only
it's
even-
heartbreaking.
yeah, exactly. Only the thought is really painful.
Yes,
So
it's heartbreaking to think of you being in a position
and a
of the
person that
victims'
you grew up
families
with, okay,
or
and whom
yes.
you love a lot, and whom you think you know, actually realizing that they are this monster, and you have not realized, possibly because you have been blinded by your love for your sibling.
Yes, and losing your job even. But I'm not quite
my
sure. I
God.
think,
No,
but I'm not quite sure. So
I mean, I understand, but I do not.
I
because
don't
it's
know
n-
that
it-
for
it-
sure.
it-
yeah. So let's continue
Yeah,
because
of
we have a
course.
lot to comment on. That's why I'm trying to.
Sorry,
keep
it's always
here.
my fault, by the way. If you knew, hello.
So mentioned that in the previous episode.
In every episode, because it's true.
So, yes, and after his master's degree, he moved to Washington to start a PhD program at the Washington State University, WSU. I'm mentioning the abbreviations because I will be using them later.
No problem.
In Pullman. And the campus is about 8 miles or around 13 kilometers away from Moscow.
Yeah, okay.
So
it's pretty
these
close.
two
Really, really
universities
close, yeah.
are close because we will mention something later on. That's why I'm saying. Yes, and when the red drums occurred, He was a doctoral student in criminology. He was also a teaching assistant at the same university. And yes, however, less than 2 weeks before the red rams occurred, there has been a meeting between Bryan Kohberger and faculty members of the university. And the purpose of the meeting was to discuss some concerns and complaints about his behavior toward women. And
In his work environment in the uni.
yes, because from what I have seen and read online, he was very strict when it came to grading papers, which is okay. We have had strict professors, and sometimes it's good because you learn for sure. At least tough love
yeah,
works for
absolutely.
me in
For me,
this
I don't know.
aspect. And
It motivates me, right? But
that's
I do
okay.
not like it. Yeah.
Grading and being really strict, that's okay. But suppose I guess from what I have read, from what I understood, he was a bit harsher with women.
We do not
Yes.
like that.
No. And on December 19th, his teaching assistant role came to an end based on his overall performance and his behavior.
Okay, so he was already expelled for like fired.
Yes, I don't
as
remember. I don't quite
before
remember.
he actually committed.
I think a couple of weeks or something like
Yeah,
that.
but it was
Like you
before.
said, 2 weeks before
Yeah.
he had the meeting. So he was about. He received the letter of dismissal.
Mhm,
Shall I
mhm.
say? Before, or he knew before a couple of weeks
So
that he was going to no longer be a teaching assistant. So there is a speculation that this could be, a trigger.
What triggered?
Yes.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's why I asked if it was before what he did, because
Yes.
yeah,
So he would.
not that excuse
No.
anything. No,
No,
absolutely no. But
no excuse.
I'm just trying again,
Yes,
devil's advocate.
With
'cause,
this, like we mentioned, with these cases and these individuals, we are trying
And
to understand the
especially-
psychology and the psyche behind them.
especially when the offender refuses to talk. Because if I'm not mistaken, he made the plea deal, okay? But even you're going to mention that later. But he refuses to talk, even when he has been given the chance to talk and explain himself. He just doesn't talk.
No.
And this infuriates me completely, because you did what you did, okay? You said, yeah, I did it. So, you just confess, but then you refuse to explain and to give even the slightest idea why
Yes.
you did that
And not
to the
only
loved
that,
ones, the families
yes.
and the loved ones.
And
Okay,
the other,
they need to find justice. They need to
Yes.
have justice. They
or
need
at
to
least
know
they
at
have
least
a
why.
closure,
And you refuse
some
that.
kind.
So you still hold this kind of like power over them. It's a power game.
Yes,
I'm telling
it's
you.
again, it's yes.
Mm-mm.
And okay, now
I got mad.
his attorneys and defense team alleged that he was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, ASD, if I'm not mistaken. That's the abbreviation.
We respect that.
Yes,
and we
and,
respect autistic people. You're
of
fantastic
course, of
and
course.
unique and amazing. And this
Yes,
is nothing
we love
that
you.
you should be ashamed of, okay?
No,
Do not claim him.
no. And that's another point of discussion, that yes, there are so many autistic people, out there, and
Absolutely.
not,
No, that's a character.
going on a,
What he did,
Yes.
it's a character trait.
they're
It
not
does
going on
not
a spree.
No. It does not mean
Of
that.
course.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. So
No, it does not
yes.
describe, autistic people. Absolutely
No.
not.
But I think because there has been again a lot of discussion. This case, there are so many topics and there's so much room for interpretation and topics for discussion. So there a lot of commentary, in general, and a lot of conversation. But from when I watched him, during the victim impact statements and during the news and while before that. Yes, I think he could be on the spectrum. You know.
I agree.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, there are
If
many
you're
videos
yes.
with, from people, psychologists, and people who are quite well versed in this kind of the body language interpreters.
That's yes.
And yeah, his body language is.
Yes, I think it's a possibility.
I mean, he definitely,
personally.
at least, feels awkward and uncomfortable, as he should.
Yes, and he's the way he's standing and like you said, the body language. It's yes.
Yeah.
He could be. I mean, I don't think that's a flat out lie. I think
Mm-mm.
it is a possibility. But I'm no expert. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yes, I know. It's
Because you cannot say, for example, that something that he did, because I was thinking, is that maybe why he might have felt or acted weirdly around females, like around women.
Yes,
and
that's
stuff like
what some people have
it depends. I
mentioned.
think that it has to be, like it has to do with individual. It depends on the
maybe
individual.
he was,
So, because not absolutely not all autistic people are,
No.
awkward around other people. No.
No. That's why there has
I don't think
so
we can
much
blame it on that.
conversation.
I don't think we can blame
No,
this kind
no.
of behavior on
No.
autism. Absolutely not.
But I think they mentioned it more that they are like attacking the media and the public. Someone who is, I think,
I
it's
understand
one
that.
of their,
And see,
the
again,
arguments.
if he really, 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 really is the true actual offender, I'm sorry, but I'm not feeling sorry for him. I mean, I do feel sorry when it comes, like to being autistic and being
Yes, of
stressed and pressured on a human level.
Yes, on
But,
a human level. That's what I was going to
mm,
say.
But
Yes.
when it comes to what he did, no, that's justice. Okay, he deserves
Yes.
it. But then again, if he is not the actual,
the
because
ex-
there are theories. We do not say that these are,
yes, we will just
our
mention
opinions.
some
We just mention
later.
them.
Yes.
And again, devil's advocate, we have to be objective. So if he really is not the actual perpetrator and he wanted to confess, because he might have had the idea that like if he went to prison he
would
could
have a better
study
experience,
exactly.
yes.
He could actually
Study
study
the
psychologically. Yeah.
Mm.
Because there are people like that.
Yes.
Their own choice, or because he was pushed or pressured or blackmailed.
Yes, we will
suicide
mention
or-
that
yeah,
on
yeah.
the theories.
Yeah, if that's
section.
the case and he's not the actual perpetrator and he is autistic and stressful situations stress him even more, then I feel sorry for him.
Yes.
Because that's torture.
Yes.
I don't know.
We cannot know.
No.
I don't know if we will ever be able, if we're
If
able
he does
to
not
find
speak,
out.
no.
Yes.
If he refuses, no.
So I would like to say some more.
Yeah, of course.
So yes, and
So is my
and yes, and okay. However, the judge, based on Kohberger's behavior during the hearings, over several months, had not seen any odd behavior from him.
Oh.
He even noted that Bryan Kohberger, quote, by all accounts, is highly functioning, end quote. He also said that he would not allow to hear testimony on an autism diagnosis unless Kohberger himself took the stand.
Okay,
So,
fair
like,
enough.
yes.
But there are many highly functioning autistic
Yes.
people.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And Bryan Kohberger has mentioned online that he faced mental health challenges that we mentioned before. He suffers from tinnitus, and he has a condition called visual snow syndrome. And from my understanding, this is the one that you see little black dots.
I have this.
Something. Yes,
What?
I don't know.
We call it floaters. Like
Yes,
yeah.
and
I have
that was part of his defense, if I may say so, that
Defense to
he,
what?
he would usually walk. He liked to take long walks in nature, and especially at night sometimes, because he could see better during nighttime.
Because of what at night though?
I don't
can see
know.
worse. Yeah,
I think from my understanding and from what I read and hear online, guys, it's I'm trying to be fair and accurate.
You're
But
presenting.
why were you out at 4 a.m.? What were you doing? I was watching the stars, and because of this condition. That was part of the defense. To some, it's no defense at all. But if it's the truth, then he's the the unluckiest person.
As someone who
to
lives
be there.
with floaters,
no.
No.
Maybe I understood it the wrong way, and I misunderstood. I don't know.
No. Maybe he actually said that, but I say that personally as someone who has what I think is the same thing. I don't know. Different people again.
Yes. Now I would like to mention some of the, so we can comment. I wrote down some of the known facts, and we can talk and comment about this. And the red drum weapon believed to be a large K-bar knife, blade knife, and it was never found. That's another thing he's not talking about. Where is the red drum weapon? Where is it?
So obviously,
did he dispose it?
I mean, he did not leave it in the
throw
scene
it.
of
Did he burn it?
Offense.
I don't know.
Yeah. So he did not leave it there. He did not leave it in the house. Obviously, he
just
took
the
it with
knife,
him.
Sith.
Yeah.
And
then
he had
got rid of it, like disposed
he
of
had
it.
bought one on Amazon, and he was trying to replace it.
But you know,
I think
for someone,
that's what I understood, guys.
For someone
Don't come for me.
who is seemingly quite clever, or at least clever when it comes to education and stuff. Okay, that seems like a really, 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 and pardon my word, stupid move.
Yes.
Like, why would you do something so traceable?
That's another. There's another difference of opinions there, because. Okay, he's smart enough, he's brilliant, he's a genius, whatever, but then he does something so stupid.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't think so.
So maybe someone hacked his account and ordered it to frame him. Those are just theories, again, circulating.
Ordered it to
from
his
the Kohberger's
place, and then if he actually, if that was the case, and somebody ordered, from the weapon from his account, and then got it sent to his address,
because it is his account, but anyone can log in, especially in a
then okay, let's say that's the case, okay, and say that he received it because somebody hacked his account and did that, and then how did the other person go to his place to get that specific a weapon and use it on the red drums?
I don't know. We will talk about in the theories section of this video. But another thing. The other two roommates, housemates, were out that night. We mentioned that on the first part. They came back home.
The victims, you mean?
The housemates, roommates of the victims. And they came back home at around 1 a.m. We also mentioned that in the previous video. So, before the victims returned home.
All of them.
Yes. And those, the two roommates returned before the other
four. Because if I'm not mistaken, the two girls, Maddie and Kaylee, went back home around 1:56 something.
1:56.
And then Xana and Ethan later.
1:45.
Okay.
I think, but we'll have to check.
But anyway, the two remaining housemates.
They came back before
earlier. Okay.
Earlier, and the Moscow police department said that about the times and the timeline. Okay. So we only know because of them.
Nothing wrong with that. It's fine. Yeah.
On November 18, 2022, according to police, the victims were most likely asleep when the red drums occurred. Some of them had defensive wounds. We mentioned.
Remember,
that.
I was about to say not all of them.
And no sign.
Were seemingly. I mean,
yes.
The obviously woke up because of the shock.
Yes.
Of the attack. I mean, we know that Xana was actually awake because she was eating. She had ordered food, and then she was eating, and she possibly went to the kitchen to leave the chips bag, right?
Yes,
because you said that it was found.
Paper bag. Again, I was about to say plastic bag,
chips.
but no, paper bag. Yeah, so with the tips, and there has been a lot of discussion about the tips. They were not from DoorDash or Jack in the Box. So what was the name? I don't remember. They were from Taco Bell or something like that, because there were the round tips and not the other
not
tips.
The wedges. Okay,
something like that. You guys have no idea how many different opinions there are, and how much commentary. Yes, and because it is again a case that shocked the world and the public, and it caused a lot of reaction, of course, so it makes sense.
Understandably, sorry.
Yes, we want some justice for those victims.
Definitely.
And their loved ones. So. Yes, and no sign of SA. We mentioned that in the previous one. December 28, 2023. And that's what happened. And what I believe, in my opinion, is a mistake. And I mentioned that in the previous episode, but I will just say that I will say it now. I just mentioned there is a mistake made, in my opinion, and this is the mistake. Again, it's just my opinion. On December 28th, 2023, the house in King Road was demolished.
That's absolutely, in my opinion too, I agree with you. That's a mistake.
Yes, because it was the evidence, full of evidence.
Exactly, was the evidence.
The evidence. So everything was there. So it was, okay, I understand that it was not a pleasant reminder.
Absolutely not.
I understand that there are some immature young adults at this age probably wanted to do some, take photo shoots or do some rituals, whatever, quote unquote. We have seen those immature, we have been immature at that age as well. I understand that it was, I don't know, something not pleasant. I understand the energy was heavy and everything, but it was the greatest piece of evidence.
Absolutely. And also, if you want to be completely, cynical, we also understand the fact that it must have been extremely difficult for the actual owners of the house, the landlords, to rent this property again after what happened.
No,
okay?
I don't think anyone would ever.
So I understand that, but again, I agree 100% with you. Why would you do that? At least, close the case completely and then demolish it.
Yes.
It's almost, again, that's my opinion, allegedly, okay? I may be wrong. Feel free to disagree with me in the comments. But to me, it seems like all of it was kind of like rushed, and I'm not saying that it should have taken longer. Absolutely not, because that prolongs the pain and the loss and the agony for the family and the loved ones.
The justice system said about this. They made it like this. However, to spare the families of more pain.
It was so quick.
Extreme details.
Yeah, but however, I believe, again, in my personal opinion, allegedly, I think that he was found and arrested and convicted and very,
a month and a half
fittingly, packed.
Yes.
Everything was so fittingly packed so quickly. Yes. Almost, allegedly, people just wanted, for some reason, to close that case so quickly.
We will talk just in a minute. Here, we're almost there in the theories part of this video. Okay, so, I think the owners, because you mentioned it, the owners sold the house to the University of Idaho, if I'm not mistaken, again.
Why?
If I have it correctly. I don't know, because it was, I don't know why.
Obviously, because
it was really close to the campus.
I know.
Not the campus, the... brain fog, like Joe says. The dorms.
The halls.
The halls. So it was really next to the hall. Some of the halls, from what I have seen. So they sold it to the University of Idaho, if I'm not mistaken.
Obviously,
I have no idea why.
Obviously,
they had nothing to do with it. They wanted nothing to do with it after.
And not only that, I think that it's exactly what I mentioned earlier.
For evidence,
who would rent this? Would go and live, in a house that something so horrific happened.
No one.
I would not.
No.
Bad energy. I believe in energies. Okay?
Yes, same. That's why I said I understand that.
And I would feel
it had really
unsafe.
bad energy.
Let's be honest. I would feel unsafe.
Yes, of course they probably would have renewed, but who would stay there? I don't know. Anyway.
So I understand what I'm trying to say is that I completely understand why the landlords actually sold the house to the university. But why to the university? Nobody else would buy it.
Probably that's why, and because of evidence, because it was the evidence, the biggest piece of evidence, according to me. The house was the evidence. It had its story to tell. Everything was there.
All potential DNA.
Yes, everything.
Hairs, I don't know, like fibers from even the balaclava or something.
Yes, red stuff, everything. Yeah. And the families of the victims had objected in its demolition. They said it should remain in its place for the trial, until the trial.
Exactly.
Because they believe that it would help with understanding what happened that night. It would help with the jury
reconstruction and everything, possibly when it comes to, the prosecution theorizing or even the defense, theorizing how things, the steps of the perpetrator and the victim. I don't know. Yeah, I agree.
That was a mistake.
In my opinion too. Yeah.
Yes, and they made. You'll have to help me with this one and the technical terms. Okay. They made a smaller one. Like a maquette. How you say? Like
a model.
Like a model, for ready for the trial, so they could. It was
house.
It was big enough for the jury to take a look and understand why. Because as we mentioned in the first episode, there was a strange layout when it comes to the house. You should look at some pictures online if you're unfamiliar with this case.
They usually do that in trials because obviously you cannot take
but since they
the trial to the place of the crime or like the place of the crime to the court, you cannot do that. So obviously they use models and stuff, but and that's clever. I mean, it's been done a lot of times, and they use evidence like photos and stuff like that in order to back up arguments. But the thing is that, again, leave the house be, like let it be.
Yes, and leave it, like you said, tell its story.
Yeah.
Because
at least until, it's completely like the whole case and you're 1,000% sure that that's the offender and that's what happened.
Yes. But again, that's why I could never be in jury. Yes, not never a juror. I could never be one. And on July 2nd, 2025, Bryan Kohberger pleaded guilty, and he did not provide a motive for the red drums, and the motive may never be known. He pleaded guilty to avoid. Yes, and he pleaded guilty to avoid the death penalty. We already talked about that. That was what I wanted to mention so far. Please say what you want to say, because now we are moving to we will be moving to the theories part.
Yes, what I wanted to say might actually be a transition to the theories, because, in my opinion, allegedly, at least, like, how my brain interprets this, okay, Bryan Kohberger not talking, not saying anything other than, pleading guilty, and that's it. Either two possibilities. Well, there are many possibilities, okay, why he did that. But in my brain, in my very logical brain, not the emotional one, the logical part of my brain, how I see it, okay, either he's the one who actually did it, and he possibly has autism and stuff like that, so he does not feel comfortable talking about it.
Yes,
which would be understandable.
Especially when you're under scrutiny. Yeah. So yes, that's understandable.
I mean, understandably so.
Yes,
but still, or he cannot talk because somebody is not allowing him to talk, and that That's what he's so adamant about not
Yes,
talking.
but before, I remember.
Oh, third one actually. He's just completely sadistic.
Again, he wants to write a book because there have been
Yeah.
rumors about this book
he's
as
completely
well.
sadistic, and again, as we said, it's a power
Yes.
play, and he wants to keep the families and the loved ones suffering. Which,
Yes.
if this is the case, because in my opinion, this is the worst scenario out of the three that I
Yes.
just mentioned.
But some
Hypothetical
people,
scenario, allegedly scenarios. If that's the case, that's the worst one,
yes,
and he should have not taken that plea deal.
no. And it's also that of some offenders, serial offenders, how shall we say it, throughout the years that he was studying, and he was so interested in Ted Bundy.
Yes, he was idealizing them.
And
He was
BTK,
fanboying.
some of the worst, for sure. Yes, and anyway, what I wanted to say now before we move to the theories, even conspiracy theories, shall we say? Anyway, theories, opinions that have been circulating online. I would like to mention some of the recent developments, like a couple of months ago, 3 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, again, these are not our
developments,
opinions. We're just
updates.
mentioning, presenting actually
Yes,
opinions.
but before that, I would like to say something. I told you about that. There is this content creator, YouTuber here, and content creator. Her name is the name of the channel, Jules, with true crime reactions, and she asked the Moscow Police Department, the MPD, a Freedom of Information Act for footage from the 1112 King Road house, the camera, and from my understanding, she paid $1,000 in total, $1,000 per footage. I don't quite understood, but from what I understood, her viewers funded it. And what else? Excuse me. Did I want? Oh, the Freedom of Information Act. For those of you who are not Americans, just like us, I would like to say it's a U.S. federal law that allows individuals to request access to records from federal agencies, promoting government transparency. Do we have something like that in Europe? I have no idea, but I don't think so. Or in EU. I don't know. Anyway, just a comment. But it sounds...
to a certain extent, actually, yes. But
yes,
they're very, very specific documents, if I'm not mistaken.
yes, that's what I wanted to mention, but I liked this, for the public. So that's the Freedom of Information Act, and the agencies must disclose information unless it falls under specific exemptions.
Yeah.
For example, national security
Of course.
or personal privacy.
They're
That's
hiding the
understandable
aliens from us.
too.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
And I think there are 9 exemptions because I read this online
Mm.
with the help of our AI friends. Yes, and 9 exemptions. I think there are 9 exemptions in order to protect certain information. Yes. So that's the Freedom of Information Act for those of you who are not Americans, just like us. And she requested the footage. And now, again, conversation has started once again because she presented this that she had the rights, she paid for those and she had the rights. So as you can imagine, because this case is of great public interest, conversation started again. And I would like to say here that I watched some of the footage, if not all of them. I cannot quite remember if it was everything or I missed some. And Joe has not. I did not let her. I suggested against it because it was a really heavy one.
I don't want to. No, thank you.
Yeah, it was like having someone pulling on my insides and my soul. It was terrible. So if you want to watch this for yourself, just
No,
I have to give a warning.
I trust
It's
my.
really heavy.
Yeah, no, I'm not watching it. I'm not listening to that.
No.
I'm trusting my sister with
Yes.
what she told me. I don't want to.
I just once,
No.
and it was enough for me not to ever listen to it or watch, ever again. to listen, actually, because it's a security camera, from what I understood, that has
From
recorded.
the outside of
Yes,
the
from
neighbor's
11-12 King
house,
Road
right?
house.
Yeah.
Yes, some other students, if I'm not mistaken, were renting that place, or owning. I don't know, probably renting. Yes, and the thing about this footage is that it makes you question, I don't know, wonder about the timeline, the official timeline that has been provided, by the authorities, or maybe they missed something. I'm not making any accusation. I'm just accusations. Excuse me. I'm just saying, because here's the thing. There was a part from 12:55 a.m. to 2:25 a.m.
12:55.
12:55
Okay.
a.m. to 2:25 a.m. And this time period, it was the time where everyone was coming home. Yes,
An
it
hour
was the
and
time
30 minutes. Yeah.
that everyone was coming home. Okay, and it was muted, because if I remember correctly, she requested from 12:55 a.m. to noon. Where the call. So you're pulling on my
Sorry.
on my cable. When remember around noon that the 911 call was placed. So she requested again, if I remember correctly, she requested those footages. Those during this time, and the 12:55 to 2:25 a.m. is muted, but not everything else. Everything else is not silenced or muted. There is sound.
Okay, so when did the first person go back home? Like, arrived back home?
The surviving roommates, Dylan
they were
and Bethany,
the first ones to
1
go
a.m.
home. 1 a.m. So
Yes,
5
that's why
minutes.
I mentioned
Okay.
that it's the time where everybody was coming home.
Exactly. Yeah. But I
So
mean, I
why?
wanted to see, because remember in the previous episode, because when you were explaining, when you were telling us what happened, and you started just telling us, presenting the timeline. The first thing that I ask you is like, okay, so for a specific amount of time, since all the people in the house, they were out because it was a Saturday night.
If someone was there
before
that,
I ask you. So there was a time, like a period of time,
that
quite a few hours, that the house was actually empty. So it was completely alone.
Yes, I think so. But why is this part muted? And I think it's in everybody who has requested this, if I'm not mistaken. Again,
so the original
it's probably with the authorities.
Yeah,
the one with the sound is with the authorities.
Yeah, and then the one that has become public.
It's I don't know if it's
available for public usage.
With this lady, it was muted, and another creator, if I'm not mistaken, also requested it. His or hers is muted as well.
So we can assume that it was muted
Theirs
by.
was muted as well. I don't know.
Allegedly, we can assume that it was muted by the authorities.
Yes, allegedly. I don't know.
Because I do not see the reason why, since you said that this footage.
But why? If it's 10 hours of footage, why is this specific
exactly
one
that's
muted?
Exactly, because as you mentioned, it was footage from a security camera, right?
Yes,
from a neighboring house. So
it was not facing the King Road house, the 1122 King Road house. It was facing in another street, but you could hear some things. It was really close, guys. You can look it up online.
I do not see the reason why a security camera would stop recording only the sound, not the video, only the sound, for a specific reason.
No, I think that the sound is there. It's just not provided.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. So it must be altered. That's what I'm.
And
that's
as
what
you
I'm
can
hitting.
imagine, people have been wondering why. What are you hiding from us? Allegedly, if there is something.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Why? I mean, you give all the.
Allegedly, one could say
these are just assumptions.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
Facts.
Allegedly, one could assume that the video was, for some reason, muted.
Yes, and
That's what I mean.
Especially
A security camera,
because I'm telling you,
which are not high quality cameras, okay?
Mm.
Or and people who are familiar with technology and stuff, they can, I think they can
understand.
reassure me in the
Yes.
comments. A security camera, like it's a wide angle camera, and usually it's not a high quality camera and not a high quality sound. It's just that just to check, and God forbid we actually need to use the footage, like in this case. But I did usually, if I'm not mistaken, if something goes wrong with the security camera, both the sound and the video are
Is
actually,
corrupted. Yes.
yeah, exactly, not only the sound, and
The
only
file
for a
is
specific-
corrupted.
yeah,
Yes.
and not only for a specific amount of time.
Yes. I don't know. So, as you can imagine, again, these sparked the conversations, all of this.
of course.
And I would like to mention here the things that can be heard from 2:25 a.m. to around 2:53 or something like that. You can watch it yourself. I would advise against that, and it comes with a warning. To me, and in my ears, there were some screams, and those were not crazy partying drunk screams. Again, in my opinion, to my ears, they don't sound like that. They sound like agonizing screams. It's definitely something going on. Who knows? And there's a lot of distress in some voices. Again, in my opinion, the way I hear it and the way I receive it, and you can hear more than one male voice. And
the only, from what we know, the only male
was Ethan.
exactly in the house at that
And the
point was
perpetrator,
Ethan.
from what we know from the official statements and the records and everything.
Yeah, but
the
Dylan
perpetrator
actually
did not
said,
speak.
yeah,
I
only I'm
assume.
going to help you.
Yes,
whatever,
yes.
right?
So
Yeah, but I mean, how could an outdoors security camera from a different place, like house across the street, would be able to catch that?
And not only that, again, you could hear. Again, I could hear. I think it's what I hear. My ears. It's like more than one male voice, and it's like a twisted party going on, something like that. But it's not. At some points you can hear like they're chanting something like they do in soccer games or something like that. Ooh, yeah, something like that. So you could hear that at some point, but like howling like wolves. Like that sounds okay. This part sounds like drunk, but again, it sounds like there's also something going on in the background. Like distress or agony. I don't know. That's how I receive it, and I think I hear it at some point someone saying, "No, stop, please stop," or something like that. A male voice saying like, "No, stop, please stop," or something like that. Again, it could be crazy party going on, but in my ears, to my ears, it doesn't sound like that. I don't receive it like that. Those screams,
Sorry, and
it makes.
are these?
I don't know.
So I kind of zoned out because I'm trying to
Process.
Yeah, that in my brain. Not that I want to, but okay. So you say that all of this can actually be heard in that video, like that security camera video footage.
Yes.
It can be heard like properly.
Yes. And no, you cannot. That's why I say it's everyone receives it differently. When
it sounds like something else, but
when they hear it.
I have not listened.
I don't know.
to it.
Yes, that's the thing.
Not watched it.
I think not everyone, like, you have to have really like a thick skin. I don't know if it doesn't, because when I listened to it, I could not sleep at night. I'm telling you. I'm sensitive like that. It's I don't know. I did not like it. Something inside me was telling me this is not right. This is not a party going on. Allegedly, again, the way I receive it, I'm not saying
it does not sound like a party.
Yes, I don't know. And you can hear some. I don't know. If I heard those screams and I was a neighbor, I would assume that there's something going on, and I would ask for help. I would call for help.
Okay, do you know Again, I have not listened or watched that video. I do
And
not.
again, I'm telling you, it's just how I receive it. I'm not
Yeah,
saying I'm right.
But from what you are saying, and again,
This is how I
allegedly,
receive it.
allegedly,
Yes.
allegedly,
Allegedly,
I have
of
not
course.
listened. I have not heard to that video at all or watched it ever. But from this description to my ears, like how my mind process this and where my mind goes, allegedly, my opinion, just by I have not heard that or watched that video. It sounds to me, especially with that, howling and that rhythmic, not booing, but sound. What it sounds to me, it's like some kind of very ugly, stressful, possibly even worse than stressful situation. Some kind of like initiation or something.
It could be.
Or somebody being.
Or it's just, again, like a twisted party, if there is
Yeah.
one. Something going on. I don't know why.
Like
Those screams, you guys. I'm like, the
like
hair is
someone is telling someone
in
else.
my body.
They're trying to motivate them by that, like chanting and cheering.
No, they were. I think it was something like a country song or something. They were singing, chanting. Like you do in soccer games. Okay, and yes, they're probably
like cheering.
presumably, allegedly drunk kids doing that. And yes, okay, but I don't think there was a party. I don't know. In my opinion, again, from what I hear, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
So you
I
said
don't
that security camera
Yes.
was not facing.
No.
I don't know.
So
we don't know,
know.
if
But
somebody
the thing
came in or
is-
came out. Okay.
Yes, and then after that there were some sounds, but it was quieter. And then during the time that the red drums happened, 4 to 4:26 a.m. according to the authorities,
And these videos from
there
1
were not
o'clock.
so many sounds going
So
on.
these videos from 1 o'clock.
No, 2:25 after.
2:25. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
And all this commotion can be heard from 2:25 to around 2:53 or a little bit more. And I would like to say here that those were the times that calls to Kaylee's former boyfriend were made from Maddie's and Kaylee's phones.
Where we mentioned
yes.
in the last
Combining
episode that it sounded to me like it was something urgent. That's why, like, it was an
Yes.
urgency. It was something serious. That's why both girls were
Unanswered
actually
calls.
calling
Yes.
that guy. Yeah,
During
yeah.
that time, both happened, and you can hear the commotion on the video. And again, maybe there was some prank or party or some drunk college kids situation was going on, and I am wrong. I don't know, but those screams, they are not crazy party screams to my ears. I don't know.
Question.
Maybe I'm wrong. Again, allegedly, it's just my opinion, guys, on how I receive it.
Question:
I'm not accusing anyone of anything.
was Murphy barking throughout all of this?
No, I think Murphy started barking after, like at 5 a.m. Or after 4:26, or around that time, if I'm not mistaken. You can hear him barking, and then
Okay, so
some people have pointed out online that you can hear him closer and then far away. So
maybe
probably he was
locked up in a
yes,
room.
yes, or outside, and then
But
they
if he
got
was-
him inside.
Yeah,
That's
but
why he was not barking.
So you say if he was, for example, like left or locked in the little balcony.
Or
Yeah.
Or maybe he was outside for a walk,
Okay.
and then came back after the red drums had occurred, and he witnessed something we don't know.
Oh my god, but that's so nefarious. If that, if
Those
that
are
is
just,
true,
again, theories, guys. Nothing has
if
been proven.
that is true.
Just assumptions.
Yeah. Okay. Allegedly, assuming. Okay.
Yes.
Theory.
Yes,
just
just
a theory,
theories now.
theoretically speaking.
Yes.
So if that stands, if that's the case, for example, what you said with Murphy being, out for a walk. So
Someone
somebody
took him, yes.
for a walk so that the red
Someone-
drums happen in the meantime,
Exactly.
so that the little poor baby did not bark.
Yes.
So
Because he
nobody
started-
would be notified that something
Yes.
bad is happening.
But he started
But that's so nefarious.
he started barking like frantically around 5 a.m. or earlier, a bit earlier. I don't remember. But for an hour, like 35, 40 minutes, something like that. Like, you could hear him go. Some people say it's not Murphy, but no, I think
Sorry.
it comes from the house, and I think it is Murphy. I don't know. Again, so with this,
But again, you said that there was nothing, no red stuff, red liquid found
on his paws or
Murphy.
his fur.
No. Yeah.
Maybe he was clean. I don't know.
And
And
maybe the police actually, why is that a UV light? I always forget the name, the UV light that, they check for.
I don't remember, but I
the red
remember
stuff.
hearing how the liquid, the black liquid, is called amido black, if I'm not
Okay,
mistaken,
yeah.
that they throw to see if there is.
I don't remember the name of the light.
Yes, I don't remember either, but I don't know.
As soon as we stop recording, it will come to me.
But the crime scene photos tell another story as well. It's just like a whole other story as well.
Lumino, no.
Lumino black, maybe.
Lumi something.
Something, yes. I don't know. Amido black. Amido black was the
No,
liquid.
Lumi something.
Yes.
It's the UV light. Please let me know in the comments.
No, Luminex.
No.
I can't remember. Anyway,
Me neither.
crime scene photos, another story to tell as well. Interesting things there going on. So, of course, there has been now more and more discussions going on, and assumptions and theories. Even some could say we're stepping into conspiracy theories territory, and people are just giving their opinions of what might have actually happened, if not what we already know. Is Bryan Kohberger innocent or not? And of course, I would like to mention here that there was the party at the Sigma Chi going on, where Ethan and Xana came from. It was a big party.
True, because they were at the.
So maybe there were some.
Is that a sorority or the
fraternity?
Fraternity. Yeah.
And yes, fraternity. So Ethan's fraternity, and I mean. Where he was, the fraternity he was part of, yes, and maybe some of them came back home and something terrible happened. Because who knows? Those are just theories. And then I also read online that there was people who think this is a possibility, that something happened with the fraternity there. That there was a big bonfire too. In the sorority,
like the 5
so
of November.
Maybe
I'm sorry.
Yes, so maybe they burned some of the evidence. If this is what happened, allegedly, these are just theories. Again, we have to mention it because the only known facts we know is the ones provided by the authorities, and we have no reason to question them.
Because again, we have to be objective, and I
Yes.
have to be completely objective. Because in the UK, in unis, there are no fraternities or sororities and stuff.
Oh, yes.
We just have societies and clubs, okay? But the thing is that I do not know a lot about fraternities or sororities because I'm not familiar with this system. But the thing is that, again, I do not know how to comment on that because my personal opinion on them, which cannot be justified because I do not have any actual or real experience with them, but my only in quotations experience and how my opinion on them has been
Formed. Yes.
is only because of from what I've seen, in the movies, and I do not have the best of opinions. Okay,
There is a lot,
especially when it comes
to be
to
talked about,
the initiation.
Yes.
Challenges that the people have to go through.
And some
Who
have
the
lost their
F are
lives,
you
I
to
think.
say if I'm good enough to join your freaking house. Get off. No, seriously.
Yes, but impressionable kids. But those who say that, oh, it was the sorority and the fraternity, and because you can never leave something like that, I think
Kind of like a cult, honestly.
Yes,
It sounds kind of like a cult.
so
to
they
me,
say that
so.
probably something went wrong with the fraternity and sorority or one of those,
Yeah,
and
That's
because
what
there
I
were
mean.
kids from rich and powerful people, they had to be protected at all costs.
The best ones. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
allegedly.
I'm
We
being
don't know.
sarcastic, by the way, if you are new here.
Yes.
I tend to do that. Anyway.
Yeah, so those who support this theory, they think, oh yes, it makes sense, because if you have kids, college students that are from rich and powerful families, tied to the law and the police and who knows, I don't know, I'm just saying.
Can you blame them? It happens. I mean, it has happened. I'm not talking
Yes.
about this case, okay?
We
But
don't know, but I'm telling you what
in
those
general, it has
people
happened many
believe.
times
Yes.
before. It's nothing new. It's nothing extreme. It's
Yes.
the brain is a brain.
So that's
It
that's
makes
one theory.
assumptions.
Yes. That's one theory. Then another theory has to do again with the rags and some other illegal substances going on.
I don't know.
So it was probably
Yeah.
payback, or they were somehow involved, something like that. And then
But fourth time at the same house. I don't know.
yes, I don't know. I don't know, seriously. And what else? I'm trying to remember, all the theories that I read and conversation that has been going on online. And then a lot, or Kaylee's stalker. Maybe there was someone.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, because as we said
and
in
more than one
in the previous-
perpetrator.
Yeah, exactly. But these two things, okay, these two theories, personally to me, they sound more realistic because,
Yes.
as we mentioned in the previous episode, obviously, I mean, it is alleged that one of the girls, Kaylee, you said, yeah, Kaylee had a stalker. So, and she was very brutally attacked, and in my opinion, very personally
Yes.
attacked. I mean,
And
her
to
injuries.
be honest,
Yeah.
when
So that's quite
excuse
that's quite possible in my opinion.
Yes.
This theory, and again, the more than one perpetrators, I think it is almost a given in my opinion.
yes, that even remember the police in the beginning, they thought that they had to do with multiple perpetrators and not one, but then
Four
they
people.
arrested Kohberger.
One of them
Yes,
really
and under 20
uh,
minutes. And what
Yeah.
is going on? Who knows? And there are some other more theories if you want. The thing is, we are all discussing about this case because
exactly.
there are some things that leave room for interpretation, as I have mentioned in the
I'll always
previous
say
room.
something else.
Oh,
That, of course, absolutely. And because we would not have to go through all of this,
if we had
crazy and
concrete
extreme-
evidence.
Yeah, and extreme theories, if Bryan Kohberger spoke.
Yes. And
He's
then
not.
But that's the thing, with some friends that we talk and are also watching true crime cases, and we are talking about what do you think? Is Bryan Kohberger innocent or not? I do not want to say anything, against him. The thing
Me
is
neither.
that, yes, the thing
Even
is,
if he's not.
even if he's, why is he the one that was arrested? And I think he somehow.
Why did he take it all on?
Yes.
Why did he?
I think he's somehow
confess?
involved.
Why did he?
Yes,
confess?
probably there is a small part. He plays probably a small role. I don't know, but he does. I don't think he's 100% innocent or guilty.
No.
I don't know. I think it's the truth is always somewhere in between. That's
yeah,
what they
exactly.
say. But yes, I don't know. I cannot say. But we cannot even question, because if we start questioning the authorities and the people who are supposed to protect us, then we have no trust in the justice system, and then in the authorities. Then what are we doing as a society? I don't know. And as
But
citizens,
again, there are people who are
we have to
corrupted, and
consider everything.
yeah, there are
guys.
there are people in the justice system and the police.
And the higher,
And I'm not talking about this case specifically,
no,
okay,
no,
in general.
in general.
Who are corrupted, and
Yes.
that has happened before,
But
and that is a fact. So
Yes.
that this is a possibility. We cannot say that it's not.
We cannot rule
It
that
would
out.
be wrong and it would be a lie.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But I'm afraid that we will never know for sure what happened that night until the right people talk.
Yeah.
Be it Bryan Kohberger or anyone else. I don't know. I don't know. But I wanted to mention in the previous episode as well, and now, before I forget, that like you said, Kaylee's attack was personal. It seemed personal to me, and in all honesty, when I heard about this horrific detail for the first time about her beautiful face being destroyed, the first thought I had was that it was done by female. Because usually it's we have seen, unfortunately, cases.
Jealousy is it's a very
in the past cases like
it's
that.
poison. Okay.
But that's just my opinion. But it could also be
No, but that's
by anyone.
that could be the case. That could be the case.
Yes. So I don't know.
I don't know, but I guess
I don't know.
I guess that, let's say, for example,
But I had to be honest. You know,
No,
that's
I
the first
agree,
thought I
because
had.
for
Instinctive.
example, there have been, I'm not going to mention names, but there have been confessions of serial offenders, okay?
Yes.
Who, there is a specific one, despicable human being, very well known.
course.
Most of you might realize who I'm talking about. And he said, when asked about his victim, because he had kept one of his victims' faces, like heads, and he said, but he was so beautiful, so I wanted to
Yes.
keep that. So if we take that,
Yes, that's what it could also
Yeah.
be a male offender. I'm
Yeah,
not
but,
saying it's a female.
But if it was, in my opinion, allegedly, and from the little psychology that I know, I am not a professional, but it would make more sense to me if, for example, let's say that a perpetrator, or even, Kohberger, was Kaylee's stalker. Okay. So
Yes.
if he is the one who did it, the stalker. Okay. Obviously, he was stalking her. Of course, because she was a fantastic, charismatic person, as we mentioned in the
Yes.
previous episode. But,
Like
if
all
he
of
did
them.
not know her
Of course.
personally, possibly because she was extremely beautiful. So for someone who is obsessed with someone's beauty, I think that
Yes.
they would not destroy the beautiful face.
Yes.
So as you say, like a female or someone, it might not have been a female, okay, but someone who was jealous
Yes.
would do that.
Yes.
Exactly, because they must have been jealous of that too. And her personality, because she was fantastic from what we have
Yes.
read and seen, and she was extremely charismatic. But yeah,
Yes, but we don't know.
I
There's
agree.
Yes, but there are so many things to consider, and that's why the conversation never ends on this case. We keep talking about it again and again.
Sorry, I'm laughing because background noises.
Yes, once again, it happened in previous episode as well.
I think that the podcast is haunted to an extent because the
Probably.
phone rings when it should not be ringing.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
Maybe.
So okay, we could talk about this for hours. Okay,
Yes,
but
and
I think that
of all the assumptions and theories,
Yeah.
and
this
probably
is an iceberg of
yes.
theories, and there is we could really fall down the rabbit hole, but
Yeah, but we could. Who knows? Maybe we will be making another episode in the future because
you have
there are
any updates,
still
yeah, if there are any
updates and developments. You
updates,
see
yeah.
now with this footage that
I wish.
it makes you wonder about the timeline, and or if the timeline is accurate, then what was going on in that period of time, and then what was going on before that, because it was muted. So
and why?
it makes you wonder.
But
So
why?
you see now new developments, and yes, why and
Why? Because
why is
security
Bryan
cameras do
Kohberger
do
not
that.
talking?
Exactly. That's exactly. I mean, ultimately, we can talk about everything. We can talk about a million.
Yes, I
theories
think we
and
will be
stuff.
having another
And
episode
again,
in the
as I
future.
mentioned in the
Yes.
Jack the Ripper's case, where you can build a case pointing out a specific suspect. I don't know why I confused this word. I did that in the last episode
Yes.
too. Anyway, suspect is the actual perpetrator, and then you can have
Yes.
everything. You find all the evidence pointing out that this person is actually the offender. But then you can find a million other evidence that point to another suspect.
Yes.
So we could do the same here.
Yes,
and
exactly.
we can have like 1,000
videos.
theories.
Yes, and theories and videos dedicated to them.
And I just want to, concluding this episode, and in this case, for the time being, we will have another episode if there is any update
on the case. Yes.
I mean, I would just like once again to send our love
Yes.
to the families and loved ones of
loved
victims,
ones,
and we wish them all the best.
Yes, and during the victim impact statement, I was crying
Oh
non-stop.
my God, me too.
Both
We did
John
not
and
mention
I.
that. Yeah,
Yes, that's why I wanted to
that.
mention it before we conclude the episode, that we were crying, and
You have no idea.
yes, and I would like to say something. I don't know if it's weird, but we have been following this case for years, and it's like we knew these beautiful souls, and it's like they became our friends somewhere along the way.
And the only thing
figuratively speaking, of course, because
the only thing we want for them is justice.
Justice, and for their souls to rest in peace, because they had a horrible.
And the loved ones.
Yes,
And
yes. They had a horrible and terrible end to their lives and their light, and yes, I hope they are resting in peace, and they deserve justice, and the loved ones, of course.
Absolutely. And
again, poor Murphy, because maybe the poor dog was
traumatized.
the baby. Yes, I was traumatized. The fur baby was traumatized, but I think he's living his best life now with Kaylee's former boyfriend, away from all of this, and
we want to wish
I hope he does.
the families and the loved ones all the best.
Yes, and
we send you our love, and we hope, that's what we are actually hoping. We hope that one day Bryan Kohberger actually speaks up and explains, because we want you to find that peace. We want you to at least know why, no matter how much that hurts. At least it will give you some kind of formal closure, in a sense.
Of course, and
so
it breaks my heart.
Me too.
This case breaks my heart again and again. I saw Kaylee's mom in one
we lost
a video online that she found. I don't want to cry. The hoodie, I think, of Kaylee's, the last one. The one she was seeing. Yes, and she was crying again, and I'm like, my God, these families have been through so much, and the pain never leaves you. So we hope that they have some kind of closure, and that their pain eases a bit day by day. And yes, nothing will ever replace the love they have for the beautiful souls lost. But we hope that you find peace at some point. And yes, we wish you all the best, and we send you all the love
and
all
again,
the
respect, and
our sincerest and deepest condolences.
Yes,
seriously.
I don't know what else to say. We just we send you all the love that we can.
Yes,
honestly.
To the beautiful sisters as well, and yes, the siblings of the victims. Yes, all the love to you.
I'm not gonna cry now. Honestly,
we managed. It's really, again, we did this because it is weighing heavy on our hearts, and we wanted to talk about this case. And yes, we hope that you found it somehow informative. And let us know your thoughts, please.
Please, in the comments, let us know if you believe that this case is solved officially and otherwise.
Yes.
And what do you believe? What do you think? Yeah.
And I would like I would like to end with something. I think that again, Kaylee's dad said, again, I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I don't want to take that away from anyone, that we would like to conclude with the names of those beautiful angels, and we would like to remember their names and the life they lived.
Above all.
Yes, so it's MaddieMogen, Kaylee Gonsalves, EthanChapin, and XanaKernodle. May they rest in peace. Yes, that's it for us, guys, tonight. And as always, stay kind.
Stay spooky.
And
stay safe.
We will see you in the next one.
Probably with a light-hearted
one.
Yeah, because these past 3 episodes now, they have been really heavy and we would like to bring some light back, but that does not mean that we should not be talking about these topics. We should bring light to them, if we can. Even I've said that in the previous video as well. Even if one person actually found this episode informative, we will take that as a huge win, because we want people that loved these victims find peace. We love you all.
Yes, and please share so more people can know about this, and yes, of course, do all this social media stuff, like, comment, subscribe, follow. We value and appreciate you taking your time watching our videos.
We feel privileged to have you spend time
yes with us. Of course, and
so have
again, all the love to the families, and condolences, and take care of yourself, and stay safe out there, guys. Be mindful and give a hug to your loved ones.
Tell them you love them.
Yes.
Every day.
And your pets too.
Yes, definitely.
Members of the family as well.
Absolutely.
So we will see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.